So, Pony Life. Does anyone remember it? I feel like nowadays people either want to forget that Pony Life exists or the other smaller part of the community that actually misses the show. Me, well, I'll be honest, when Pony Life came out, I did watch it for like 7 episodes and I hated every single one of them. I never watched another episode of the series after episode 7. But recently I started to think, was Pony Life really that bad and is it worth watching today? And so let's start with the Pony Life was announced a month after Friendship is Magic ended, and it came out on November 7th of 2020, and it only ran to May 22nd of 2021. It had 2 seasons, one with 26 episodes and the second one with only 14 episodes. The first thing that I want to talk about is the art style. Back in the day, I didn't really understand why so many people hated the art style so much. I mean, yeah, it's pretty simple, but the cheap aesthetic was something that even back in the day I really liked. Something that I never realized back in 2020 was how much of the original cast from FIM stayed for Pony Life. Like really, we have Tara Strong, Andrea Liebman, Ashley Ball, Peter New, Kathleen Barr, Nicole Oliver, Kyle Rideout, Michael Dobson, Ian Handley, Richard Ian Cox, Andrew McNee, and even new cast members like Luke Rodrigue, Anna Sani, Connor Parnell, Bethany Brown, and Channel Pelosos. And something that not a lot of people talk about is that the show isn't episodic. Yeah, Pony Life actually has a story. Well, more like stories, and let's begin with... So, from episode 1 to episode 6, we see Pinkie Pie trying to get in a reality show hosted by Princess Celestia, and we see some shenanigans along the way with her friends while she's trying to prepare for the competition. Now this story is pretty boring. It has some moments like in the second part of episode 2 where Applejack befriends some alternative ponies, and I just love these 3. Their names and their designs are pretty awesome. Also their names are Derek, Matt and Matt. And at this point I think I should be talking about the main 6. How are they? Well, pretty weird. And not only because they have abilities now like Twilight being able to fall to pieces, Rarity being able to swallow and spit out gems, Fluttershy can shrink and grow at will, Pinkie Pie being capable to explode when she's too excited, Rainbow Dash is fast, like normal, and Applejack can break the 4th wall.
Easy now, Rarity. Did you miss this? I missed this. It was then that Twilight Sparkle got very anxious and worked up.
But that's not the weird part. To me, the weird part is their personalities, because they're more archetypes of what they were in season 1, for the most part. Like for example, Rarity and Rainbow Dash are exactly the same, almost the same, because Rarity likes fashion and she's a drama queen, and Rainbow Dash is cocky. But we also have Applejack and Twilight, which are dumber versions of themselves from season 1. But then we have weird ones like Pinkie Pie, which actually is my favorite one because she's the most normal one out of the group. Don't get me wrong, she's still Pinkie Pie, she's still as random and as hyperactive as she's always been, but weirdly responsible in a lot of episodes.
Coming from a drama pony like you? Am I right, Pinkie?
Oh, whoa. This is between you and Rarity. But if you want my advice, you might need to go apologize.
But then we have Fluttershy, which actually may be one of the worst ones out of the group, and do you wanna guess why she's the worst one? Because she's crazy. She's not Fluttershy, and for example, a lot of people like to hate Fluttershy in Fake It Till You Make It. Well, imagine that, but cranked to 1,000, with a little bit of Pinkie Pie from Party of One. In a lot of episodes we see her being selfish and also pressuring her friends to do things that they don't want to do, while also being crazy and maybe a psychopath.
Stay calm. The fear is in your head. You're part of the collection now. Forever.
This fucking sucks. Whatever this is supposed to be, I fucking hate it.
So the main 6 are trying to join the Trail Trotters because Fluttershy wants to meet her icon, a dolphin called Fantastic. But they get rejected because they're too old. And do you wanna know what the main 6 do when Fluttershy excitedly asks if their submission for the Trail Trotters was accepted? They A. tell Fluttershy, B. nothing, C. they lie about joining the Trail Trotters so we can have a garbage waste of time story. Well, it's C. And yeah, if you ask, well, so what? I bet the episodes aren't that bad. Well, you're wrong. All of these episodes are so garbage that I'm not surprised that people left the show because of them. They are annoying, irritating, and unfunny, and the main reason why they're so bad is because of Fluttershy acting like such a brat. Episodes like The Trail Less Trodden, Death of a Sales Pony, Big Hoof Walking, The Fluttershy Effect, and the only ones that I actually liked were Disappearing Act and Friendship Gems. Disappearing Act was an entertaining episode, not only because we see the Cutie Crusaders for the first time, but also it's a pretty good and funny episode with Rarity doing a magic show. And Friendship Gems, which is the best one yet. It has a pretty sweet Trixie learning how to make a friendship bracelet story and some amazing animation moments. Also, who doesn't like Trixie?
Hey, that's pretty good.
Now this episode is about Twilight investigating who's restocking the potion cabinet in Sugar Cube Corner with some mixed results, and it's a fine episode. Again, not my favorite, but where it gets good is... This is the episode that introduced Potion Nova, and I quite like it. She already was teased at the end of the potion mystery, but now we can actually see her, and Channel Paleso's performance and voice suits Potion Nova quite well.
Yeah. Anyways, I need you. You know, not all magic has to be big, explosive, showy. Magic's all around us, which means it's kinda normal.
And a lot of people back in the day were criticizing Potion Nova of being a Mary Sue character, but honestly she isn't. She's a calm and reserved pony throughout the show, and she even helps Applejack in All Bottled Up, or gives good advice to Twilight in All That Jitters. It honestly surprised me how likable she was. But more surprising is that she wasn't used that much in the show. Yeah, after All That Jitters we don't see her as much in the show or the episodes, so what's on the other episodes?
The coffee. The aroma is a bit special.
From episode 15 to episode 24 we get a bunch of fun and good episodes like iCookie, Keynote Pie, Ponies of the Moment, Unboxing Day, Don't Look a Gift Horse in the Mouth, The Mysterious Voice, The 5 Habits of Highly Effective Ponies, Game Night, Director Spike Mockumentary, Who've-Done-It, Dear Tabby, and Pie vs. Pie. And all of these episodes are so enjoyable either because they're fun or they have interesting character ideas or dynamics. And the reason why I'm not describing them is because I implore you to go watch them, they're that good. But now we move on to our first mini story of Pony Life. When the main six go to a sporting competition, we see them having fun and discovering new opportunities, but at one moment, their friendship will be tested. Now this mini story is okay, not my favorite, but I'll be lying if this story didn't give us some awesome episodes, like Flutter Dash, a fun episode about Fluttershy helping Rainbow Dash out, the Rarity Report, where we see Rarity figuring out what her place in the competition is, and The Great Divide and The Great Collide, a sweet duo of episodes where we see the main six struggle on how to compete against each other and concluding with a pretty good finale, which is... Now this is the finale of this season and also serves as a recap. The only bad thing is that I don't really like the song, but that's just probably me. So that was Pony Life Season 1, in my opinion a pretty mixed bag of a season, because we started so bad but then in the middle gets pretty good, but hopefully Season 2 starts better with... So how do we start Season 2? Well, with an end of the world story that is actually pretty interesting. In the start of the new moon, Twilight discovers that there's an asteroid headed for Ponyville, so Twilight begins to research a way to stop it. But for the fortune of Twilight, it's not an asteroid but a comet made out of cotton candy. And in later episodes we see some crazy stuff regarding this comet. Honestly, a pretty good beginning to this season. While the storyline is short, just lasting 5 episodes, I love the episodes we get, like the crystal capturing contraption, where the main story is actually about Fluttershy becoming a reporter, with the side story of Pinkie trying to collect the crystals from the comet. And also remember how I said the worst character was Fluttershy? Well, the showrunners actually fixed that, and now Fluttershy in Season 2 actually acts like Fluttershy from Season 1, and not a psychopath. And we also have Bubble Trouble, our second Spike episode in the series, and I must admit I really like Spike in Pony Life. He's a pretty funny character most of the time, and I love the new voice for him, which is not Kathy Westlock, but Tabitha St. Germain. And Time After Capsule, which is an episode where the main six make a time capsule with their favorite belongings. I know it sounds boring, but it actually continues our story for season 2 with... Yeah, right after the main six finish their time capsule, they're sucked into a portal that spreads them across time and space, and we get the episodes The Great Cowgirl's Hat Robbery, which is literally a scavenger hunt to find Applejack's hat in old Equestria, Planet of the Apps, where Twilight and Rainbow Dash fell into the future with the objective of rescuing Fluttershy from robot ponies. And back to the present, where the main six are in a different dimension, where Discord conquer Equestria, and is in here where we meet the Wildsiders, which are composed of Echo, Sugarsnap, and their leader, Lightning Chill, which actually looks kind of familiar. But maybe I'm just crazy. So back in the day I remember hating the idea of these three, but now I must admit I really like them, not only because they're really cute, but their dynamics and personalities are so good. Echo being the naive and kinda the punching bag of the group in some episodes.
Perhaps just a little less?
Sugarsnap being the better version of Rarity in Pony Life because they're identical, but Sugarsnap is more composed and less dramatic than Rarity.
Oh, you are a comedian.
Oh yeah, I had my own network TV show called Thaw and Order. I played a short order cook who was long on laughs.
And Lightning Chill, which is basically a toned down version of Tree Hugger from FIM.
Welcome to Salad Bowl Junction. What can I get tossing for you? Our salad special today is called Sprout Sprout. Let it all out.
Overall, I like these three, and also they're important to our last story of the series, which is... So buckle up because this last part is pretty messy. So, after meeting the Wildsiders, Pinkie Pie eats a salad that transports them back to Ponyville. But the Wildsiders also get sucked by the portal, which makes them end up in Ponyville, so the main six show them around and convinces them to stay. But one day portals begin to appear all throughout Ponyville, and why are there portals? Well, so the Wildsiders, by being in their dimension, they're beginning to tear apart their world. So Twilight makes a machine to stabilize the portals, but also makes a portal in between their worlds, so the Wildsiders can come and go at any time. And that's it for now, because we have a new mini story to talk about, which is... So, the Crystal Carnival. This story, it's okay. I don't hate it, but again, I don't like it. It's just so boring. There are some highlights like the episode Lollipop, or What Goes Up to Do, or maybe the appearance of Cadence, Shining Armor, and Flim and Flam, but overall it's just a boring mini-series to talk about. So let's go ahead and continue with the main story. So when the main six get back from the Crystal Carnival, they start to plan a play with the Wildsiders for the Ponyville Playday. But what they didn't know is that Discord planted chaos magic in their props to try and ruin their play. Of course, that doesn't happen, but why would Discord want to do something like that? Well, because Discord actually planned everything, not only to ruin the play for the main six, but remember those bubbles in the Comet storyline? Well, in short, Discord stole the wishes from the main six in the cotton candy glasses, and then used them to influence the bubbles to give the main six presents to get rid of them. So the plan that almost destroyed Sweet Apple Acres, the Bubble One, and the chest that sent the main six back in time, well, that was all Discord. He was trying to get rid of them to unleash chaos magic on Equestria. But at the end he has apparently a turn of heart and wishes that Ponyville went back to normal. And before I continue, I just hate this part of the story because Discord just changes his mind. The main six doesn't convince him or fight him, he just changes his mind out of nowhere. But let's continue. So what ends up happening is that Equestria and the world of the Wildsiders are beginning to merge together into one and destroying the balance of Equestria. So the Wildsiders get the idea to merge their magic and the magic of the main six into the artifacts that we've seen in Season 2, like the Magic Chest, the Bubble Wand, and Pinky's Crystal Contraption. And together they clean all the Chaos Magic and Wild Magic out of Equestria, the Wildsiders return to their world, and everything is back to normal. And that was Pony Life. Overall, I was pleasantly surprised of how much I enjoyed this series. For the most part, the characters are enjoyable, and I like and appreciated the new and old secondary characters. And the story is interesting, to say the least. I mean, there was a real attempt to make a good story here. But at the end of the day, Pony Life failed as a show and as a toy line, because I remember seeing Pony Life toys on sale pretty often, and even nowadays I see them. But should you watch Pony Life in 2024? And my answer is no. Despite of what I said on the video and absolutely loving some parts of the series, I just can't recommend it to your average MLP fan, not only because Pony Life has a bad reputation in the community, but because if fans nowadays don't like Tell Your Tale, which is overall a better series, well, they are going to absolutely hate Pony Life. But if you don't care about that and you're just looking for a fun and chaotic little series, then go ahead, watch it and have fun. I'm Sugarflake, and remember to
Comment below if you think this is going well, and subscribe if you think it's going great. I know I do.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks Fluttershy, and I'll see you in the next video. Please don't kill me.